What the heck? Did this Destiny's Chosen One really die like this? The protagonist died in the first episode of the novel. What kind of experience is that? I feel a little confused listening to the report from the Lin family patriarch. All of them knelt down and begged for my punishment. Is this Lin Sky good too? Would he actually commit suicide? Fortunately, I have a system. Opening the list, I found that Lin Sky is still alive. Do you want to play dead with me? I sat in my seat, not saying a word. The descendants of the Lin family were already sweating profusely. Lin Chuhan also started to hate his own younger brother. Elder feels that his Lin family is finished. For a moment, no one spoke. The air seemed to thicken. Another soul of Suchinga. Sighing, this is the taste of power. Without saying a word, scared everyone to pee. Lin Sky encountered the entire clan's ostracism. The host providence value increased. Holy crap, I didn't do anything. Lin Sky is almost depleted by me. Now he probably only has a little connection with Lin Chuhan. Nether Elder wants to exchange his own life for the safety of the Lin family. I shook my head. This makes me appear generous. I solemnly declare that I believe this has nothing to do with the Lin family. Besides, this useless person may have been manipulated by someone. My remarks have made the Lin family members ecstatic. I won't continue to entangle myself either. Then I instructed them not to cremate Lin Sky's body. After all, this sheeple has not been completely sheared. I still have to wait for him to resurrect. The Lin family and their group feel relieved. I stopped Lin Chuhan. I asked her to accompany me for a stroll in the city in the next few days. Of course, she nodded in agreement. I looked at the destiny above her head. It turns out that capturing the female lead will also increase one's destiny point. Just like Suchinga, not only does her own destiny grow, but it also increases my destiny. However, this woman must have some secrets. It's something that I don't know. It will be 3 days later soon. The young talents of Central Domain gathered together. They all started drinking and boasting. Sacred Heir Jin Yang from Garuda's Sacred Land said that he had met an extremely talented good brother before. People were a bit surprised. The person who can make him praise must be extraordinary. Jin Yang continued. His good brother offended a big shot, so he ended up in Central Domain. The person at the table asked for their name in order to make friends. Jin Yang hesitated and could not say a name. At that moment, everyone looked in the same direction. It must be me entering with 2 ladies in a glamorous way. The Lin family's beloved daughter in red. The green-clothed Tai Xian Saintess captivated everyone at the same time. Of course, in the middle, there is also me, the invincible handsome guy. No one expected that I would actually come here. Everyone got up one after another, wanting to pay their respects to me. Jin Yang was sweating profusely. As soon as I crossed over, I became the villain in the novel. But I feel the feeling of being embraced by both sides is really wonderful. I even happily sang the popular song, Flying Freely, in the attic. Fly freely in your heart. Lin Chuhan was shocked by my singing voice. She explained that it was like heavenly music. I said that it was just routine. I can do more than just singing. I am also excellent at playing basketball. Lin Chuhan couldn't help but envy the life in the upper realm. I gently asked, "Do you want to go?" She, however, became melancholic. After all, her own younger brother was the one plotting against her. She couldn't help but become extremely sad. I took advantage of her guilty conscience to arrange some things to enhance Providence value. That is to tell her to pay attention to her brother's body. I told her that I have noticed that Lin Sky should be in a fake death state. It means that your brother should be able to resurrect soon. Lin Chuhan was shocked. He thinks I'm simply a mystic oracle. However, she is more afraid that her younger brother has really been possessed. I think the goal has been achieved by making her feel reassured. All this is just her own speculation. When Lin Chuhan realizes that his younger brother is not himself, all ties will be broken. At that time, I will be able to kill the goose that lays the golden eggs. Just then, the servants report that young talents from various factions all want to visit me. I calmly said, "Then invite them all over." Soon I took my seat at the head. These people could only stand and fawn over me. One by one, they licked my face as if they were little dogs. They praised me as if I were unparalleled in the world, with no predecessors and no successors. Lin Chuhan was stunned. These arrogant young masters were actually so fawning one by one. The lofty saintesses, one by one, have also set aside their airs to please me. And yet, I remained so calm, not even bothering to take a glance. She couldn't help but think of the days she spent with me. She feels that I am handsome and treat her well. I am simply a perfect existence. Ding. Successfully captured Lin Chuhan, the host of Providence Value, increasing. My efforts these days have not been in vain after all. I entered the Sea of Consciousness to check the system details. The destiny point has now reached 350 points. You can also keep the Providence Value for later use. Last time in Lin Chuhan, I tasted the pastries he gave me and discovered the Dan intent, so I'm planning to invest in it. I spent 100 Providence Value to buy a beginner's path of Dan book and have the opportunity to cultivate this woman. Just then, the system suddenly issued a task to suppress Destiny's Chosen One's righteous brother. The task rewards 500 Providence Value. I involuntarily withdrew from the Sea of Consciousness. Lin's sky has been completely played out. In other words, among the people below, there is someone who is Yi Dustin's sworn brother. I ask if there is any news of Yi Dustin from Taishien's Sacred Air recently. Sacred Air broke out in a cold sweat and couldn't say a word. Young elites were discussing one after another. Who is this Yi Dustin? Jin Yang was even more aware that things were not good. The gray-haired man vaguely felt a sense of familiarity. He couldn't help but cast a glance at Jin Yang. Jin Yang saw this and felt that something was wrong. The gray-haired man asked loudly. Earlier, he heard Jin Yang say that he had met an amazing person. I wonder if it's Yi Dustin. Jin Yang's body trembled with sweat. In his heart, he had cursed this man 10,000 times. My eyes became sharp. Jin Yang, Sacred Air, do you know the name of the amazing person you mentioned? The saintess of each faction posed coquettishly for the first time. But I remained calm without even raising my eyes. Until I heard someone in the audience say they knew the protagonist Yi Dustin. My eyes finally found their color. I loudly questioned him about his close friend. Is his name Yi Dustin? Jin Yang trembled all over, but couldn't say a word. So, it could be considered as an acquiescence. However, he still wanted to change the topic. I directly released overwhelming pressure. Energy directly transformed and covered the entire building. Jin Yang, don't talk nonsense. I just asked if your good brother is named Yi Dustin. The rising stars are all intimidated by my momentum. This kind of momentum. They have never experienced it in the Saint Lord gang. They feel that my strength is simply unfathomable. The gray-haired man regrets his previous remarks a bit. Will this Jin Yang not bring disaster upon me as well? Jin Yang looked unconvincing. He could only tremble and cautiously state his acquaintance with Yi Dustin. I interrupted him from continuing to speak and directly asked about Yi Dustin's current whereabouts. Jin Yang didn't expect me to be so aggressive. However, for the sake of his good buddy, he still refused to disclose Yi Dustin's whereabouts. The man with gray hair did not expect this person to be so disrespectful. The man with gray hair panicked and explained that he was confused by Yi Dustin. He requested my forgiveness. Jin Yang saw that I did not react. He continued to explain that Yi Dustin is a very honest person. There may be some misunderstanding between us. This directly angered me. What other misunderstanding is there with someone who has offended me? Where do you get the courage to keep nagging at me like this? Jin Yang feels that all the meridians in his body are cut off. His body couldn't take the blow and his legs gave way, kneeling down. the people present were all shocked by my sudden attack. Jin Yang's servant immediately appeared to protect him. Then he apologized to me. I didn't pay any attention at all, just slowly called out, "Nether Elder." The black-robed old man suddenly appeared in the void. No one could have imagined. The Lin family forefather, who ascended 30,000 years ago, turned out to be just my servant. The inner turmoil grew. I ordered the Nether Elder that there is no need for Jin Yang and their Garuda sacred land to exist in the future. The Nether Elder simply replied with, "Received." Jin Yang and all of his own servants collapsed on the ground, unable to calm their emotions for a long time. Lin Chuan once again recognized my strength. Such indifference. High and mighty. Like a god overseeing everything. Is this the truest form of young master? Ding! Suppression mission completed. Rating perfect. Providence value reward increased. At this moment in the Garuda sacred land, everyone is filled with sorrow. They still don't know whom they have offended. A huge palm collapsed the entire sect. In a dilapidated temple in the central domain, Yi Dustin knelt on the ground, crying uncontrollably. Because the spirit jade medallion in his hand shattered. It meant that his good brother had received his last meal. He swore to kill me. Beloved Sherfu appeared from the ring, wanting to comfort, but not knowing where to start. Yi Dustin's face turned dark. His only bet now is the long-sealed demonic artifact in the primordial heaven mystic realm that will be revealed soon. And I'm still accompanying two girls to play on this side. I touched her and scared Lin Chuan before. I took out the detailed explanation of the path of Dan exchanged from the system from my arms. I told her that this is considered a compensation gift. Su Chinj is full of jealousy. She even joked that I scared her too. I ignored this woman and casually remarked, "The weather is really nice today." Several days later, visitors to the Lin family kept coming one after another. Lin Chuan finds me terrifying. Nevertheless, I can be considered gentle to her. So I talk about Lin Sky being taken over. It should be true. At this moment, deep in the dungeon, Lin Sky suddenly became aware. He slowly sat up, his face indiscernible. I became the arch-villain as soon as I crossed over into the drama. I not only stole the leading character's woman, I also directly killed her younger brother. Unexpectedly, after 7 days, Lin Sky actually feigned death in the dungeon. I heard that if everyone subscribes to my channel today, you will have good luck all year round. Lin Sky woke up in disbelief that his body was preserved so perfectly. Now, all he needs to do is feign amnesia, and he can perfectly evade this deadly situation. I arrived just in time. I just watched his performance quietly in front of me. Lin Sky was almost scared peeless. I gave him a look as if treating a first love. Lin Sky started a textbook-style performance. How could I be here? Am I not teaching in the classroom? Damn, this kid's acting skills are even worse than Yi Dustin's. He came up to ask me who I am again. How come he hasn't seen me before? Lin Chuan has already believed the story of me being possessed. She is extremely angry at this moment. However, Lin Sky still pretends to be innocent. Not only did he claim not to know why he was here, but he also kept emphasizing that he was Lin Chuan's own younger brother. Lin Chuan just looked at him coldly without saying a word. Lin Sky saw that this approach wouldn't work and began to recount his childhood experiences. However, this further angered Lin Chuan. She missed her younger brother more and more. She loudly demanded to know what had happened to her brother. The shout directly activated Lin Sky's original soul. The original soul desperately struggled to seize control of the body from him. His eyes turned bloodshot. Countless thoughts and struggles emerged in his mind. Lin Sky couldn't figure it out. He is the reincarnation of the heaven-slaughtering Divine King. How could he not control this body? He could only struggle silently in the corner. Lin Sky knelt on the ground, crying out helplessly. Until the next moment, he completely lost control of his body. "Sister, please kill me. I am in so much pain. Lin Sky suffered a backlash from the obsession of the original owner of the body. Lost control of the body. The host providence has increased. The current Destiny's Chosen One destiny has been cleared. Lin Chihuan looked at his younger brother in front of him, unsure of what to do for a moment. I gently placed my hand on her shoulder. I know you can't do it. Let me handle this villain. Lin Chihuan's eyes welled up with tears. Finally, he glanced at his younger brother. Then she turned around and fled from the dungeon. I smiled lightly. Lin Sky, do you know why your body is unharmed? Lin Sky only realized at this moment that something was amiss. It turns out that his own fake death plan had been discovered by me long ago. This is also the time for me to take action. I mobilized all my demonic chi to absorb the heaven-slaughtering divine king in front of my eyes. Lin Sky is a little curious about what kind of person I really am. They say villain dies from speaking too much. I directly attacked Lin Sky with a fatal blow. In an instant, Lin Sky fell heavily to the ground. I absorbed the hidden soul of the Divine King stage. I feel full of power all over my body. My primordial spirit has also grown significantly. However, my own demonic technique must never be discovered. First kill accomplished. Reward being calculated. Received Heaven's Tao treasure chest. Providence value 500 points. Destiny point exchange function is activated. This exchange function gave me an extra trump card. Next is my time to open the treasure chest. What good things will I reveal? I just crossed over and stole the female lead. I even directly killed his good brother. Who knew that in this script, Dustin actually has a younger sister from the ancient family? I didn't think that much at the moment. Let's open the first kill treasure chest first. Congratulations to the host for their amazing luck. Obtain 3 Destiny Plunder cards. The seed system of the Broken World settles the critical hit card. Destiny Plunder card concedes the protagonist's destiny with a chance of failure based on the Destiny's Chosen One status. The critical hit card will be settled by the system. Use it during system settlement. The items obtained from the first kill treasure chest this time are satisfactory overall. I opened the store and found out that the plunder card is actually worth 10,000 providence value. This means that when I initiate a plunder, I need 2,000 destiny points just to break even. I once again opened another extra reward chest. Obtain the aura of Son of Providence. It has automatically transformed into the aura of Providence Villain. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Heart of Divine King aura. This aura is a bit abnormal. It can directly kill Destiny's Chosen One without being countered. However, by directly killing, you will miss out on many opportunities. The Heart of Divine King integrates the Tao cultivation insights of Divine King stage cultivators. Don't overthink it, I must merge directly. In an instant, the light keeps shining. I'll upgrade with the help of Providence value. After the fusion is complete, I only reach the later Marquee stage. If I want to break through to the pinnacle next time, the Providence value needs to be at least 5,000 points. Damn it. The business of sheeple shearing really can't stop for a moment. Now the demonic artifact is about to appear. Dustin should also clean up a bit. I slowly walked out of the dungeon. Lin Chihuan had been waiting outside the door for a long time. I comforted her that the matter had been taken care of. Her younger brother will rest in peace soon, and will have the opportunity for reincarnation. The matter of Lin Sky has also been perfectly resolved. At this moment, inside a certain institute in Central Domain, several sacred heirs from ancient Sacred Peak are discussing my story. Suddenly, everyone turned around at once. The newcomer is their eldest sister, Miss Lily. This person is Dustin's sister. Several simps pounded their chests, promising to teach me a lesson. Lily glanced back at Madame Snow and asked if there was any news about brother Dustin. Madame Snow hesitated to speak. In the end, she advised Lily not to linger on ordinary people in the lower realm. Dustin probably won't reach the heights of their family in this lifetime. Lioli is a little angry. Yi Dustin's older brother said, "Do not bully the young and poor." Shortly after, she gathered her friends to teach me a lesson. At that time, I was playing with the Dan pill refined by Lin Chihuan. I have to say, this little girl's path of Dan talent is indeed quite good. The next second, the sky was covered with dark clouds. Su Chinj is a little panicked. I, on the other hand, calmly drink my tea. The elders of the Lin family immediately block my path in front of the door. Who goes there? How dare you trespass into the ancient Lin family? All the people from the ancient sacred peak descended from the sky. People from the Lin family of ancient sacred peak seemed a little panicked when they heard it. They also became more polite when speaking. Who knew that a few of them were extremely arrogant, constantly threatening to cause trouble for me. Old Lin could only respond evasively, saying he would go back and report. Little Gaga slowly walked up to Old Lin and started to threaten him. The next second, the sky suddenly lit up with golden light. A huge finger suddenly descended, like squashing an ant, pressed against Little Gaga's face. In just a moment, Little Gaga vanished into thin air. The sky also cleared up. It was as if nothing had happened. Lioli had never seen such a scene before. I slowly opened my mouth to let them in. I said lightly, "Let them in." The beautiful girl Lioli came with Little Gaga to make trouble. The previous second was still grumbling. The next second, the person who looks for trouble becomes scum on the ground. Young master, you died so miserably. At the very least, we are people of the ancient sacred peak. He actually killed us as he pleased. Just now that palm strike. I can already vaguely feel the power of the king stage. Where exactly did this person come from? Little Gaga can already feel fear. Yi Lioli makes up her mind. She drank it. Let's go in. With the lesson just now, the people of the ancient sacred peak dared not be unruly anymore. Instead, they quietly followed the Lin family patriarch into the Lin family's courtyard. As soon as they entered the courtyard, Madame Snow sensed that she was being locked onto by a powerful aura. Someone who can lock onto a cultivator at the divine deity stage level with their aura, yet I cannot trace his location. This Lin family forefather is probably already at the divine king stage of cultivation level. And the attack just now, that contained the power of the king stage, should have come from the hands of that young man. With such strength, he even has a servant at the divine king stage. Could it be that this young master Gu is from that clan? If my guess is correct, then this young master must not be offended at all costs. Madame Snow quickly retreated to stand in front of Yi Lioli. "Miss, don't worry. In my opinion, this might be a misunderstanding. Nether Elder finds it a bit strange. Just now, they were trying hard to hide their aura. Now they are actively showing up. Is this conveying goodwill to me? At this moment, I am sitting on the throne in the main hall. Two beauties are serving by my side. Yi Dustin's cousin, ancient bloodline, fostered in the lower realm with deep emotions. I've seen plenty of these melodramatic plots before. Is young master planning to kill them? Su Chinga looked at me teasingly. I started to worry for these people. Do I look like the kind of person who would casually kill? Let's go. Since they are so proactive, we should respond in kind. I have seen the master when I walked out of the hall. Yi Lioli and the others are already waiting. Madame Snow nodded slightly in greeting to me, displaying the charm of a woman, while Yi Lioli on the side still had a proud expression. You are indeed that young master Gu. You are Yi Dustin's cousin. Going back and forth is my style, but this costs a whopping 800 destiny points. I have to say, Yi Dustin is really lucky in love. I have met young master Gu. This is Miss Yi Lioli from my family. I am responsible for protecting the young lady from the lower realm as a guest elder. Just now, the young lady and her servants were quite offensive. I hope young master Gu will be generous and not take offense. Madame Snow, you have gone too far. Originally, Madame Snow came here to help Yi Lioli tidy me up. But when she arrived, she realized she couldn't afford to offend me completely. She had to crazily hint at Yi Liuli instead. Mississippi. Perhaps this is really just a misunderstanding. Why not take this opportunity to speak openly about it? It's better to clear things up before it's too late. Predecessor is very polite. Please tell us the purpose of your visit here. My young miss hails from the ancient celestial tribe, and the young master of the Yi family is likely from the longevity Gu family in the upper realm. It seems our two families have known each other for a long time. Madame Snow must be seeking a distant relationship. But the little Gagas behind Yi Liuli were stunned to hear that the other party was from the upper realm longevity family. Neither of these families can be offended. Coming here today seems like we're just cannon fodder. I said lightly. So it's the ancient celestial tribe. No wonder Miss Yi is so confident. They came knocking on the door directly. My father did have quite a few dealings with the head of the Yi family years ago. Madame Snow was shocked this time. He said, Father, could he be the sole heir of the longevity Gu family? If that's the case, then the future of this young master will be limitless. After knowing my true identity, the group of little Gaga quickly knelt down on the ground, apologizing desperately for their recklessness just now. Miss Yi Liuli suddenly couldn't figure it out. She clearly came looking for trouble herself. And the group she brought with her actually cowed out as soon as they met. Even Madame Snow has been persuading herself to apologize to young Master Gu. Yi Liuli is getting angrier the more she thinks about it. She waved her small hand. Madame Snow. Madame Snow, you don't need to say more. I can't apologize to him. It was him who made Brother Dustin flee around like a stray dog, a joke to the world. This little girl is not bad. She doesn't give in under such great pressure. But who asked you to be Dustin's cousin? I can only slowly consume you. You haven't told me the purpose of your visit yet. If you don't give me an explanation about today's events, even if you are a descendant of the ancient celestial tribe, I will still proceed without mercy. The overwhelming demonic chi gushes out from my body. Young Master Gu, please calm down. Today's matter was indeed caused by the offense of our young lady. Please show mercy, young Master Gu. In consideration of Madame Snow's continuous apologies, I have temporarily suppressed the demonic chi. At this point, Yi Liuli is already sweating profusely, but she still shows no intention of admitting her mistake. Don't say it. Every 10 breaths, Nether Elder makes a move. Give this young master an order to kill someone. If there are any resistors, destroy them all. Being the archvillain to suppress the protagonist or even make the protagonist carry a lunchbox is as normal as it gets. And this Yi Liuli actually wants to stick up for her cousin. She has run into a brick wall this time. Not apologizing to me. I will kill one person in 10 moves. Several little Gagas brought by Yi Liuli were begging for mercy on the ground like a pool of mud. I just watched quietly. How will this inexperienced little girl choose? Yi Liuli looks at these spineless subordinates. Angry, she scolded me as despicable and shameless. Ridiculous. If I weren't despicable and shameless, how could I be a villain? Madame Snow is still persuading on the side. With young Master Gu's strength, if he wanted to kill Yi Dustin, he would have done so long ago. Since Yi Dustin was able to escape, there must be a misunderstanding. Miss, just lower your head a little. Young Master Gu definitely won't mind. Yi Liuli is itching with anger. Her helpless look towards me is really cute. Ha ha ha. 10 breaths have passed. Kill. Nether Elder picked up a finger. A gust of finger wind passed by. A person named Little Gaga was pierced directly. It looks like that person ended up getting a box meal with a dozen full eggs directly. Yi Liuli was greatly surprised. He had long known that Gu Longhorns meant business. But how could his inherent pride allow him to back down? Miss, help me. I do not want to die yet. Just as long as you have a better attitude, miss. You can spare us from death. But why wouldn't you want to? A little Gaga is pleading with Yi Liuli with a nose full of mucus and eyes full of tears. To be honest, It's a bit of a waste to use such high-quality black stockings to wipe mucus. The little tiger is also afraid of death. He is also persuading Yi with tears and snot. And me, just sitting here and watching the show. Yi can't take it anymore. She kicked away the mud clinging to her thigh. Enough. The events of today. It was I, Lioli, who offended. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, young master. Yi is probably feeling more aggrieved and compromised than ever before in her life. Her teeth audibly grinding together. Since the usually proud miss has apologized. I, as the archvillain, should also express my apologies. I gently replied, no need for apologies. After all, this young master is not a demon. Such a trivial matter naturally won't be taken to heart. Madame Snow heard this and forced a smile, saying, I told you young Master Gu wouldn't trouble you. Yi face was full of black lines. She probably has already killed me 100 times in her heart. Little Gaga escaped with their lives. They kept knocking their heads hard on the ground. You don't have to thank me. It's Miss Yi who saved your lives after all. If you want to thank someone, go thank her. Yi looks like a mute person who has tasted bitterness and can't speak it out. However, since you're here, what needs to be said must be said. Today Lioli came to inquire about something and to seek justice. This matter is regarding my brother Yi Dustin. I don't remember ever doing anything to him. Miss Yi, you may have made a mistake. An existence like a tiny ant. Miss Yi wonders what she should do for me. Yi was at a loss for words, and didn't know how to respond. Generally speaking, Gu Longhorns should have no difficulty killing Brother Yi Dustin. How could Brother Dustin possibly survive after offending him? Could it be true that Brother Yi Dustin did something wrong? Is it really as rumored? Dustin is for that woman. That makes sense. Su Chinga has an elegant figure and a graceful appearance. Men do some crazy things for her, which is also understandable. No. Not possible. Brother Dustin is honest and straightforward. It is absolutely impossible for him to do such despicable things. It looks like Yi thought of something embarrassing. A look of springtime on her face. But in an instant, Yi returned to that aggressive and domineering state. Since young Master Gu didn't intend to kill Brother Dustin, why did he want to destroy the Garuda sacred land related to his brother? I replied to her without a good temper. Could it be that Miss Yi is here today just to blame me for squashing an ant? Do I really need to explain such a trivial matter of raising my hand to you? A huge pressure overwhelms Yi Lioli. Yi Lioli feels like she is in endless darkness. She can't win by fighting, and she can't win by arguing. Yi Lioli looks totally defeated. Moreover, what Gu Longhorns said is indeed very reasonable. System prompt. Yi Lioli is wavering in her feelings towards Yi Dustin. Yi Dustin's destiny point loses 100 points. The host's providence value increases by 500. Ha ha ha. It seems like the seed of doubt has been planted. Now, I will just wait for it to take root and sprout. Everything has been clarified. Yi Lioli is about to leave. Madame Snow still wants Yi Lioli to chat more with me. After all, climbing up to my level is like reaching the top of a tree, and then one will soar to great heights. I said indifferently, I'm not interested in that little girl at all. My words are not very hurtful. They are extremely insulting. Upon hearing these words, Yi Lioli stopped in her tracks to leave. The noble young lady was told by a man that he was not interested. How could she bear this? Surnamed Gu. What do you mean? Hey, the fish is about to take the bait. As the archvillain, I have two beautiful women by my side. Madame Snow wants to force Yi Lioli onto me. To be honest, I like women with big buttocks. They can give birth to sons. I'm not interested in skinny girls like Yi Lioli who are almost flat. After driving away Yi Lioli, I opened the system panel. At this point, I have obtained the Providence Villain aura. Although my cultivation level is still at the later marquee stage, my destiny point has been slowly increasing, all thanks to the destiny support of two great beauties. Now Yi Lioli has already descended the mountain. According to the typical routine, she should go and meet up with Yi Dustin, then find the 8 Desolations demon halberd. Finally, they will step on me, the arch-villain, again. Yi Dustin is not stupid either. He will definitely show up at this time. Then he will cling to his cousin's thigh. Based on the mark I left on Yi Dustin beloved Shifu, I can feel his location is near the border between the 8 domains, not far from the central heavenly domain. This indicates that the primordial heaven mystic realm is about to open in that area. And my goal in this lower realm is precisely the 8 Desolations demon halberd in that mythic realm. I am determined to obtain it. So, it's time to take some action. With Yi Lioli's departure, the news of her being crazily slapped in the Lin family has spread everywhere. Even the creatures of the ancient sacred peak retreated in embarrassment. The identity of young Master Gu is becoming more and more mysterious. Moreover, it is said that Yi Lioli's backer is not just as simple as the ancient sacred peak. Various kinds of rumors spread throughout the central domain. Similarly, Yi Dustin also learned about Yi Lioli's defeat. To be able to do so much for Yi Dustin, this is true love. During this time, he searches for the missing map pages while improving his cultivation level. As Destiny's chosen one, he has obtained opportunities that are hard for ordinary people to come by, which is nothing out of the ordinary. His beloved master used to think that Yi Dustin seeking revenge against Gu Longhorns was just a fool's dream. But now, watching his cultivation level soar, it seems that he does have hope for revenge after all. She couldn't help but start to worry about Gu Longhorns. She didn't understand it herself. Clearly, Gu Longhorns was an enemy who was against her. However, she couldn't muster up any hatred towards him. Is it because she accepted his Dan pill? Or is it because Gu Longhorns wants to win her over? But someone like Gu Longhorns, who has a strong background, there should be no lack of powerful experts like Paramount Stage by his side. Inferno Mistress is feeling extremely conflicted. She admires Gu Longhorns, but Yi Dustin has also been kind to her. Initially, her remnants were stranded in the lower realm and fostered within a ring. It was thanks to Yi Dustin's nurturing spiritual chi during those years that she gradually regained consciousness. Similarly, absorbing too much of Yi Dustin's spiritual chi caused Yi Dustin to go from a genius to a worthless individual. He was even jilted by his fiancée. He became the object of ridicule in the family. It's more accurate to say that Inferno Mistress owes Yi Dustin rather than Yi Dustin owing her a favor. It's this sense of guilt that has made Inferno Mistress determined to repay the kindness. But Yi Dustin doesn't see it that way. After all, beloved Shifu is a woman. In the face of outstanding men like Gu Longhorns, who wouldn't be moved. Perhaps beloved Shifu staying by your side is just out of pity for you. Thinking of this, Yi Dustin's expression became darker. His fists tightened as well. Beloved master, why did the Gu Longhorns come to the lower realm? If I'm guessing correctly, it should be related to the primordial heaven mystic realm this time. Yi Dustin asked tentatively. And Inferno Mistress didn't think much about it. You're probably right. Except for primordial heaven mystic realm, there shouldn't be anything in the lower realm worth his attention. Yes. So, Gu Longhorns is very likely wanting something in the mythic realm. When he hears that the mythic realm is opening, he will definitely rush here immediately. And I am the only one with a map to the primordial heaven mystic realm. According to the restrictions of this mythic realm, with the strength of his old servant, he definitely won't be able to enter the mythic realm. This means I just need to lay an ambush in the core area and wait for him. When the time comes, I can control the mechanism array there with the key to eliminate him. Beloved master, do you think I have a chance to seek vengeance? Yi Dustin spoke slowly, analyzing each step clearly with logic and evidence. The reason he said these things in front of beloved master was naturally to test her reaction. So after speaking, he stared straight at Inferno Mistress, as the plan sounded seamless. It would be perfect to let Gu Longhorns meet his end here. It sounds quite perfect. But how do you know if Gu Longhorns has the map in his hands? Perhaps he has other means to enter it. Inferno Mistress is unaware of Yi Dustin's intentions. Upon hearing this, she thought carefully for a long time. She felt that the feasibility was not very high. After all, Gu Longhorns is a person from the upper realm, well prepared. How could he not know the dangers in the mythic realm? And based on her perception of Gu Longhorns, he should not be a reckless person. Is it? Or is it that what beloved Sherfu said makes sense? Yi Dustin's mouth answered like this. However, there was a hint of gloom that flashed in his eyes. Beloved Sherfu actually doesn't think that I can seek revenge. Or perhaps she doesn't want me to seek revenge. The gap between master and disciple has long existed, and it seems to have deepened a bit at this moment. Right. There is something, little Dustin, you should pay attention to. The power behind your cousin is actually quite formidable. You currently have no authority or power. If you get involved with Yi Lioli, it might invite disaster. I advise you not to have any contact with them before your strength reaches the void deity stage. For Yi Dustin, his cousin Yi Lioli is his biggest support. Surprisingly, his beloved master does not allow him to approach Yi Lioli. She also said it was for his safety. Based on the protection his cousin has provided him before, who would dare to harm Yi Dustin? This beloved master has set his sights on Gu Longhorns. Everywhere is focused on Gu Longhorns. Yi Dustin no longer wants to speak. At this moment, at the border of the central heavenly domain, within a remote town, the mountains undulate with towering ancient trees, appearing vast and majestic. Normally, there are very few cultivators here, belonging to an extremely remote area. But now, in the sky, it is often seen that cultivators or other races control divine rainbows flying over. This is because a divine light descended here some time ago, auspiciousness pervading 3,000 miles. It is said that this is a sign of a divine artifact appearing in the world. Therefore, many cultivators have come here to seek treasures. Soon, this remote town has become the most prosperous area during this time. That's right. The primordial heaven mystic realm has opened here. Unfortunately, not everyone can enter the primordial heaven mystic realm. Someone discovered a natural barrier at the entrance of the mythic realm. It is extremely terrifying. It is unknown what kind of existence left it behind. Cultivators beyond the great sage stage cannot enter. Those who forcefully enter will face terrifying rejection, and may even perish. For individuals at the King Saint Lord stage who wish to enter, the only way is to suppress their cultivation level. The primordial heaven mystic realm is simply an experience copy tailor-made for Yi Dustin. The inheritance of the quasi-paramount stage strong. Appropriately restricted. Great. It looks like Yi Dustin should be close to advancing to the great sage stage during this time. Then what he needs to do next is to snatch the treasure. I traveled back in time and became the archvillain. My mission is to reap Destiny's Chosen One and the girl beside him. Now the two girls next to Destiny's Chosen One have submitted to me. The second Destiny's Chosen One has also taken the box meal. And the first Destiny's Chosen One is still frolicking outside. Actually, I just let him go treasure hunting on purpose. As I expected, he obtained a great opportunity based on his Destiny's Chosen One identity. He not only collected the remaining fragments of the primordial heaven mystic realm, but also obtained a key from a powerhouse of the paramount stage. It's time to harvest him completely. The cultivate levels in this world are divided into fleshly body, spiritual sea, soul palace, spirit ascension, great sage, saint lord marquis, king, and void deity. While Yi Dustin originally only had the cultivation level of soul palace stage. In just a few months, he is already close to the cultivation level of great sage stage. Adding to the opportunity to enter the mythic realm this time, he feels hopeful about seeking revenge. And his cousin, Yi Lioli, also found him. They entered the mythic realm together, followed by the creatures from the ancient sacred peak. Although Yi Lioli is still thinking about protecting her brother Dustin, who is at the great sage stage. But this time they met, her attitude towards him was different. She used to always hold his hand and call him Brother Dustin, affectionately. And now she always keeps a distance of 3 steps away from him. She doesn't talk much either. What Dustin doesn't know is that since she came out of Gu Longhorns, she has already concluded that Dustin ended up in his current situation because of his lust for women, although she still regards him as Brother Dustin. Dustin did not mind. He thought it was normal for girls to become more reserved as they grew up. But she has grown up and changed a lot at 18. She is indeed much more beautiful than before. Look at Lioli's delicate face. Dustin couldn't help but show a satisfied smile. Close your dog eyes. The lady is not someone you can covet. Just a servant's descendant. Even a toad would want to eat swan meat. Another cursed woman. Every mouthful is just ants. Mudflat toads. Although Dustin has been ridiculed all the way, he eventually slapped them all in the face, one by one. But the person speaking now is a servant by Lioli's side. This made him angry from the bottom of his heart, but unable to vent. Madame Snow has reasons for not having any good feelings towards Dustin. Young Dustin had ulterior motives towards Lioli from an early age. He always had ideas of making advances. Luckily, she kept a close watch on him. Otherwise, he might have succeeded when they were young. At that time, Madame Snow did consider getting rid of this boy. But the young lady always seemed so lonely in her childhood. She kept him around until today just to have someone to talk to. But recently, she really can't stand it anymore. The young lady actually fell out with the Gu family young master over a trivial Dustin. This is simply an extremely foolish thing to do. Don't look down on people. Those who once looked down on me were all trampled under my feet. Dustin frowned. He replied unceremoniously. Madame Snow sneered. Just by you, a frog in a well, how would you know the majesty of the 9-heaven true dragon? You better look in the mirror, and see if there is anything you have that can compare to young Master Gu. You shut up. Dustin clenched his fist tightly, trying to suppress his anger. His body even trembled slightly. Opening and closing his mouth are all Gu Longhorns. He even said that the girl he likes and his enemy are a good match. What is this? Going too far in deceiving people. I will definitely kill you, Gu Longhorns. Dustin didn't respond. He just thought to himself. After all, he didn't want to lose Lioli's support. At this time, Lioli walked over. Her eyebrows were furrowed with a look of discontent as she reproached Madame Snow. Madame Snow, what are you talking about again? Miss, I am telling the truth. If it weren't for this guy, young Master Gu wouldn't treat you this way. Perhaps there is a... Madame Snow was interrupted by Lioli before she could finish. Her eyebrows furrowed tightly, and her expression on her face became increasingly unpleasant. Madame Snow, I don't want to hear that person's name. On the side, Dustin noticed something in Madame Snow's tone. Coupled with his own experience of being jilted before, he couldn't help but ask. Lioli, did you and Gu Longhorns have an engagement before? What are you thinking? How could I have any engagement with that person? Lioli was a bit speechless and a bit helpless. What on earth is in Brother Dustin's head? Why would he think in that direction? She persuaded. Gu Longhorns comes from the ancient longevity family in the upper realm. Is he still the young master of that family? His background is only above me. Dustin brother must be careful when dealing with him. I can't offer you any help. At the words, Dustin clenched his fist tighter. There was a hint of killing intent in his eyes. At this moment, the Inferno mistress in the ring became interested upon hearing these words. So young Master Gu is the young master of the longevity family, that's why. He should have many means to protect his life. I don't need to worry. I'll be torn when Dustin really fights with Gu Longhorns. Who should I help? It's truly a dilemma. The primordial heaven mystic realm has finally opened. Surprisingly, the person who created this primordial heaven mystic realm is a master lord who can move mountains and shake the earth with a wave of their hand and destroy stars and suns with a step. Even such a powerful being paid the price of their life to seal an unparalleled ferocious demon within this mythic realm. The terror of that ferocious demon is evident. At this time, a group of cultivators rushed towards the entrance of the mythic realm in a race against time. Because as long as they could find the inheritance mansion of that paramount stage powerhouse and receive his inheritance, they could soar to great heights. Even ascending to the upper realm would not be difficult. Just at this moment, a man in black robes arrived with a group of great sage stage powerhouses from the Lin family. This person is none other than Gu Longhorns. Not good. It's that young man. Don't rush into it. The decisive and ruthless reputation of Gu Longhorns is well known by everyone. It can be said that people would rather offend the supreme ferocious demon than offend Gu Longhorns. Gu Longhorns naturally paid no attention to these unaffiliated cultivators, who were accompanied by a group of followers. Enter the mythic realm directly, and quickly find a balance point, Gu Longhorns. Suppress the cultivation level at the great sage stage pinnacle, creating ripples of light interwoven together. Gu Longhorns landed safely. The entrance to mythic realm may be small, but inside is a completely different world. The rich spiritual chi permeates the air, almost liquefying it. For the Gu Longhorns accustomed to staying in the upper realm, this level of spiritual chi is just barely equivalent to the area outside the Gu family's mountain gate. There is nothing much to be concerned about. Of course, for cultivators from the lower realm, this place is like a paradise. Cultivating here for a day can be equivalent to many days outside. This surprises and envies them greatly. This kind of mythic realm is truly a stroke of luck. No wonder there are so many people eager to come in. If it remains open all the time, cultivating here continuously would be great. It's a pity that it will have to close sooner or later. The followers of the Lin family at the great sage stage behind the Gu Longhorns couldn't help but express such emotions. This matter is very important for the young master. If any of you mess up even a little bit, there's no need for you to go back. Nether Elder spoke to these descendants in a very stern manner. He also suppressed his cultivation level and entered together with Gu Longhorns. Upon hearing these words from the forefather, the elders of the Lin family were all ashamed and almost knelt down to swear allegiance. No problem. I have my ways to find a safe route. Gu Longhorns never do anything without certainty. This time is no exception. Guided by the mark left on the Dan pill before. Even in a large space, finding ye Destined is an easy task. What is the happiest thing for me to do as a villain? Of course, it's to have others plant fruit trees first. And then I'll go pick them myself. Ha ha ha. This ye Destined can be considered one of the most handsome men among laborers. Wherever he goes, not only are there few monsters, even the traps are in a mess. This saves a lot of time for the Gu Longhorns following behind him. Soon, guided by the map, ye Destined arrives at an ancient relic. The place where the demonic chi becomes denser is definitely where the inheritance is located. Just at this moment, an accident happened. Astonishing beast roars came from all around. A pair of blood-red eyes made people's scalps tingle. This turned out to be a huge red giant python. On the other side was a giant skeleton. The momentum here is definitely for the hegemony of this land. This is a ferocious beast from the great sage stage pinnacle, accompanied by many little beasts. If this continues to be delayed, ye Destined doesn't know what will happen. He has a sense of unease deep down. Also, there's something else. Beloved master, it's been too calm today. Yes, brother Destined. You go quickly. I'll hold off the ferocious beast here for you. The current plan is for brother Destined to successfully obtain the inheritance. Only then can we deal with the overwhelming demonic beasts. Okay. Lioli, you hang in there. I accept the inheritance and will come out to help you guys. Ye Destined was extremely moved at these words. He didn't even look back and quickly headed towards the place of inheritance. The ferocious beast rushed up like a tide and quickly surrounded Ye Lioli and the others. At this moment, The Gu Longhorns also arrived at the scene. He looked at the scene. A strange smile appeared at the corner of his mouth involuntarily. The moment Gu Longhorns appeared, Yi Liuli and others who were fighting against ferocious beasts immediately noticed him. Yi Liuli was taken aback when Gu Longhorns arrived here, and he was so fast. This scene made Yi Liuli's expression change drastically. Although Gu Longhorns has said that he will not kill Yi Dustin and does not care about this matter, but how many true words can come out of the mouth of someone like Gu Longhorns? Yi Liuli is feeling more and more uneasy. Gu Longhorns is not avoiding killing Yi Dustin. He must have some other plan in keeping Yi Dustin's brother alive. As for the purpose, Yi Liuli couldn't figure out at that time. But looking at everything now, she finally confirmed that Gu Longhorns spared Yi Dustin's life because of something in this place. However, according to Yi Dustin's brother, only he has the map. Why did Gu Longhorns find us so quickly, and in a calm manner, as if he hadn't encountered any traps or ferocious beasts? Yi Liuli felt shocked and puzzled. Then she felt a sinking feeling in her heart. He must have been following us, or perhaps he tampered with Yi Dustin's brother. Yi Liuli's mind finally cleared up. She felt a tingling sensation on her scalp. Yi Liuli, as a lady from a powerful family, has seen the world, but she never imagined that Gu Longhorns would be so cunning. It's simply terrifying. Gu Longhorns walked out from the group of beasts. He scanned the abandoned ancient underground city in front of him. With a playful look, he said, "It seems like I've come at the right time." Gu Longhorns walked all the way. It was very smooth. They didn't even encounter a few troublesome ferocious beasts. This made the numerous followers of the Lin family at the Great Sage stage even more respectful towards Gu Longhorns, almost like he was a deity. Of course, these followers do not know that Gu Longhorns just got lucky. "Why did you come here, Gu Longhorns?" Yi Liuli stared at Gu Longhorns, asking. She was entangled with ferocious beasts while stepping back. She was asking knowingly, wanting to delay Gu Longhorns, and buy time for Yi Dustin. "Why? Thanks to you guys helping me solve my troubles, I could come here. Speaking of which, I should thank you guys." Gu Longhorns smiled casually. "Thank you. What are you saying? I can't understand. What is your purpose after all?" Yi Liuli asked aloud while secretly thinking to herself. "Just as I suspected." Gu Longhorns' eyes locked onto Yi Liuli with a faint smile. "It's okay if you don't understand. Don't try to stall for time. Don't show off your little tricks in front of me." Surrounded by many followers of the Great Sage stage in the Gu Longhorns, they all began to make their moves one after another to attack the ferocious beast next to Gu Longhorns. In front of Gu Longhorns, a path even cleared. In terms of numbers, he brought many more people than Yi Liuli's divine servants. Not to mention the presence of strong individuals like Nether Elder. Even though his cultivation level is suppressed to the Great Sage stage pinnacle in this place, he is not comparable to an ordinary cultivator. Yi Liuli's face paled slightly. Although Madame Snow was by her side protecting her, she found it difficult to move around freely among the ferocious beasts like Gu Longhorns. After all, the number of ferocious beasts was simply too large. The ferocious beasts were flooding around like a tide. And she didn't know why. She always felt that as soon as she got close to the Gu Longhorns, the aura of many ferocious beasts weakened immediately. Strands of demonic chi were quickly dissipating. As if being absorbed, Gu Longhorns casually flicked a hand. All ferocious beasts turned into ashes with just a wave of his hand. This kind of method made her feel frightened and uneasy. She couldn't help but worry about Yi Dustin once again. Faced with such a powerful and deeply scheming enemy like Gu Longhorns, how could Brother Dustin be his match? "Nether Elder guards this entrance. No one is allowed to enter," Gu Longhorns said faintly. Then his figure departed in the direction where Yi Dustin was. Upon hearing this, Nether Elder solemnly said, "Young master, rest assured. With the old servant present, no one can disturb you today. Despicable person. How dare you conspire with Gu Longhorns to harm me? From today onwards, the master-disciple relationship between us is dissolved." From now on, the close bond between the master and disciple, who used to be together day and night, is completely severed.